Hey, what's going on, guys? This is WWE Games. We're back today with a brand new video, kind of like a tutorial kind of thing, but today we're here to see how we can get free wins in WWE SuperCard's brand new mode in Season 9, TLC. In today's video, I've found a few strats. I've watched people play it for a couple days now because the mode is only still brand new. It's a week old at this point, but I've seen how people play and I've sort of devised a strat or some tips, and I think it's pretty good. I've had a few friends test it out, etc., and generally they said they've gotten more wins doing it. So, I don't know, I wanted to share the strat or method with you guys and see what you guys think. So, this is a bit of a back and forth, and this one's an idea, and I think so far it works. So, in this video, we're going to be going all the way to the end, telling you guys how it works and explaining how it works and how to play, how to pick your picks maybe a little bit, and then definitely how to place your objects. Make sure you watch all the way to the end so it makes sense to you why we're putting things in certain spots and why we're playing it in certain ways, and it might help you get a few extra wins and a few extra higher tier cards for yourself. That being said, if you're going to enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like on it. Let's aim for 100 plus likes for a tutorial kind of style video that Dan doesn't normally make. And subscribe to the channel to see more SuperCard content along with Fortnite, variety, horror, etc. Because all that's still coming. It's still out, but it's still more coming. And of course, if you're a fan of live content, head on over to twitch.tv/StanMatesGames. You can join our Discord with the link down in the description as well. Same with Twitter. Anyways, let's get straight into it. So in this video, we're going to be talking about TLC. Now, TLC, you basically have a 4x4 grid where you've got to place your items on it. Now, there's a very specific way that I've noticed that players play the game, and you can place your items in a way that, generally speaking, people find a little bit harder to hit. Now, that might not make sense, and this seems very counterintuitive, but I'm just going to put these items there, and I'll tell you what, since doing this, since I've figured out this sort of idea, it tends to be that I win probably about 75 to 90% of my games. The only time I don't is when I'm really, really unlucky and miss everything. Now, that being said, let me explain to you why we've done it in this particular order. The chair has to be at the bottom because it's not on a border. When people play the game, they tend to scope the border first, whether it's the top line, sides, wherever it is, they always go for the border, and you've put as many squares as possible into the middle. The reason the chair's in the middle is that when they scope the border, if they hit the top up here, which won't tell them if it's a table or a ladder, but they know it's not a chair, so then they might start looking around in other positions. More often than not, they go to the other side, they'll hit another piece, and then they've got the top of the table, top of the ladder, and then they start to go to the other quarter pieces thinking that they found it, and then begin to get really confused. By that time, you've got enough time to get a lead. For example, throughout this video, I put a few screenshots in it. You can see the first one where players just straight miss everything. Like I said, they go around the border, they don't go into the middle, and even when they start to go in, this is a few rounds later, they found the two top pieces. This then led them to try and poke out the corners. The next turn they tried top left, and the turn after they tried the top right. Now, I'm just saying, it sort of baits them into going the wrong way a few times, which, even if you have bad picks, will still lead you to maybe like a draw. If you're decent at finding things or somewhat lucky, you're pretty much guaranteed a win doing this. It feels a bit weird, but I've just noticed that players tend to pick around the border. I'm going to play a game here as well as we go, and hopefully this person, one, doesn't take forever, and two, doesn't prove my idea wrong. I filmed this video earlier and it did go wrong once, but it was a random shot and someone went right in the middle, and it was such a rare occasion, and I missed almost every time, but I only lost by one turn. The key points here are to put as many pieces in the middle because players pick around the border. They also try and hide a lot of things around the border because a lot of natural sort of ways to play it is to space all your objects out. It can be good that you do that because it makes it harder, nothing's completely found, but a lot of the time people put things on the border. When you start, you'll often find things on the border. This person we've just matched with, I can almost guarantee they'll have something on the border. Let's see if they play out to the same strategy that we do before. It doesn't work the same for every person, and by no means is this 100% guaranteed for a free win, but it does seem to up the odds quite a bit. So I'm going to go where I would normally go. I'm going to go left side here, and again, border piece. Everybody goes for the border. They're going to try a border piece on me. I can guarantee it in the next round, and they'll be surprised to see that I have nothing on the border, except at the very top. So this will already start to give me an advantage. If you find the chair first, you're on for a winner, because that's the hardest one to find. Sadly, that is not a chair because nothing showed up to it. Now, will they break the strategy here and go for a piece that's actually in the middle or somewhere else? It's not very often it happens, but when it does, you do tend to lose. If people switch on to what you're doing, it usually means trouble. It's high risk, high reward. But at the same time, more often than not, you've managed to give yourself enough of a lead by confusing them that it doesn't really matter anyway because they can't catch up. So they've played their turn. Let's see if they went for the border. And as predicted, they went for a border piece. More often than not, players tend to go there for a couple rounds until they can't figure it out, or if they find one piece. We've already now got an advantage. I'm going to go bottom. If I was somewhat luckier, I might have found a second piece there, and already I have an advantage. But the way this works, if they do follow the plans from before, again, another border piece, they will then find the top pieces first because it's still on the border, and then they go left and right and waste their other two turns there. By that point, I've got a huge lead. If you do try this method, please leave me a comment down below and let me know whether or not this works for you. It might not. By all means, it's just an idea of a pattern that I've noticed between how players play the game and the way that you can sort of manipulate it. For context, I used to be a game developer that used to give my own games out, and I would watch people play it as like a bit of feedback to it. Now, the fun thing about that is that I noticed that even with like mobile games that were like, you know, rolling a ball around an arena, players tend to use a similar pattern. A totally open world free idea in a sense, but they still did similar things. And what's really interesting about that is that you can almost in a way predict the way that players work. And what I've noticed so far is that players do play around the borders. They click there first and they often hide a lot of their stuff on the border. Something has to touch the border in every game, but it depends how much of it you do put in the border. I think this time we found the table, because I'm pretty sure this is the table animation, which means we've got a big old ladder to find, and then there's going to be a chair. Chairs, more for the dot that I've found, tend to also be hidden on the border. Don't know why, but a lot of people tend to put them on the border. But this is why we put the chair in the middle, so that if they find the top pieces, they're not going to get a guaranteed piece. They'll still be confused as to where something is. So far we got a massive lead. We found the table. They haven't found anything on us yet. They're probably going to try a bottom piece or a side piece. Maybe they try a top piece this time and actually find something. I'm telling you, this method seems to be surprisingly good. For reference, I've done about 20 games using it. I've lost about 4 and I've won about 16. And I'm not very good at finding pieces. So if even I can win with this, I'm sure you guys can. If you have any tips as well for other players or things you've noticed patterns-wise, please leave them in the comments. I think it'd be cool to like share and learn with other players. And hopefully this just becomes a thing every time TLC is in the game, because it seems to be on a limited time. And also let me know what you guys think about the timer on it. I think 24 hours is too long. I like to see it as more of a condensed 10 minutes sort of per bout thing. I've seen a few people like hold others up, etc., saying we can wait 24 hours to get the win or forfeit, one of the two. And I don't like that that's a possibility in the game, and I think it's something that needs to change. That, and when you do sit down, I do like to sort of sit down and play it. I don't want to be on the hold with someone else for the next 24 hours. Right, it's Ken's turn. I've hit 2, I've missed 2. Most of which, again, I want to try and check the border. I think top right is a good shot, because if they're going to put a ladder on a border, it's going to be there. Most likely going to be there. And after that, you can sort of do diamond patterns across, so you can scope out where larger objects will be, like tables and ladders. We've already found a table. I would imagine, and I'm going to take a guess, if I lose, I won't know, but I would imagine a chair is on the bottom. Once I find a ladder, that's the first place I'm going to look. Okay, so they've played, and they're following the pattern that we predicted. They found the top piece at the top. This happens almost every time I try this. More often than not, they'll go left or right, because people naturally go for the borders. So they're going to find the ladder. They'll have 2 blank spots and think they found the ladder, when technically they have, but they really haven't. They found the tips of both of them, so they'll be none the wiser. And again, same position as we predicted with the screenshots before. They go to the top right, and I swear to God, the screenshots are different. If you go back to the first one in the video, they're pretty much the same spots. They are the corner pieces here and here, but the other one is down there. It's up here and there instead. People tend to do the same patterns. It's like human nature. There's a pattern to it. Maybe it's me as a game dev that used to watch and like look at like player patterns a little bit. I don't know. That sees this. Who knows? But I thought I'd share the info with you guys anyways. We're going to go here at the bottom. Nothing again. You wouldn't think that I'd miss a ladder so many times. I'm playing badly, but they're not going to find anything. Here we go again. Like I said, top corners are next. They now think the ladder is at the top. They're going to go top left in their next turn. 100% guaranteed to it, because they always fall for the same thing. Right, their ladder is either across or down. At this point now, I've got a pretty big lead on them. I'm at least, what, 2-3 turns ahead by default here. And that's if they then don't instinctively figure out that I've bunched it all together. A lot of people don't, but some people do. And friendly mid-video reminder, if this is helping you out and you want to try this as well, make sure you subscribe for more videos. This guy might have the most unique pattern I've seen. I don't know if it's across. I feel like it'd be down. But in just a second, they're going to go for top left. Because again, I've noticed the pattern. This is the way it works. And this is like the bait or the trick to it. We're going to waste their turns at the top, which gives me the advantage. Because then even if they hit the right object, they might have to do 2 turns on it. By that point, I've already found 4 things and they're on 2 at best. If I was a little bit luckier, I could have already had the ladder by this point. They went for top left though. As predicted, they're still getting it wrong. We can literally predict the way they're playing. I reckon here. And yep, the ladder goes down. So we now know where the ladder is. We're now a mile ahead of them. We've got 4, they've got 2. They're going to try one side. If they go for the right-hand side, they'll start to figure out it's the ladder. Then they'll realize it's a table, then they'll be confused again. They've gone for the right side. They'll go down again, and they'll figure out it's a ladder, then they'll go down for a table. Again, from here, all I've got to do is find a chair. They've still got to find my last piece of the ladder, part of a table, and a chair. So even if I manage to choke this from having the worst point selection in the world, I still have had every opportunity in the world to win it. It's then down to me having picked really badly. When you pick your spots, again, I recommend picking the border. A lot of people pick the border, a lot of people place on the border. If you want to get an advantage, play in the middle, pick on the border. Again, I'm really curious from the comments. I'm going to make sure I go through and reply to all of them in this video, just because I want to see, you know, how it works out for some other people. I've tried it with a few friends, like I said, and it did work. I did famously lose one bout in the middle of this. I was sort of playing it AFK a little bit, sort of playing it in the corner of my eye in a way, and I happened to match with JB, Super Oh My God Barbecue, if you don't know it, and he messaged me afterwards, like, or in the middle, saying like, hey, you notice it's me versus you? And that was interesting, and he was using the same strat because, again, he was testing it out for us. Thank you for that, JB. He screenshot beating me, and he said frame it, so here it is framed. Yeah, you don't need it for that long. If you want to see my L's, there's already a shelf in the background I'm building. Anyway, extinction card is Ultimate Warrior, and that is a pro. I do love TLC. I think there's some small tweaks to it, but I think it's a great mode. Right, they found the ladder. They're going to go to the next spot to get the table. All I got to do in that time is find a chair, and I'm going to predict the bottom. It's a border piece, and they hug the borders. As easy as that, it's a free win in TLC. I tried filming this earlier, and it bugged out. A few people went AFK for like half an hour or more. Did it in a relatively quick time this time, and it actually paid out. But yeah, this method has worked now, I think, 21 times. I've lost 4 times. It's got a good win-loss ratio. It's heading towards like 6 wins for every 1 loss, so it's a good way to sort of stack up your wins, and hey, not bad, eh? And one last point to put in this was the delay we did by switching them and confusing them to go for the top lefts. It's given us like a turn advantage where they are guaranteed to waste a turn, whereas we have every opportunity. We might waste it and miss ourselves, but we got a good shot at it. And again, the main tips here in summary: pick the borders, place all together in a pattern like that. Keep the chair in the middle because they'll never find that. They'll go back to the borders after this. A lot of players did. And it seems to produce pretty easy / free wins for this mode. I don't know if it was like I found a free pass for free wins in WWE SuperCard Season 9's TLC, but hey, this is just like predicting human behavior at this point. It's not an exploit or anything like that. It's just a pattern I've noticed. Like I said, if you found your own, hit me with a comment down below. I'm going to wait for this winners pack and I'll do the rest of the outro. If you have enjoyed the video, like I said, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitch, follow me on Twitter for exclusive stuff for WWE SuperCard, as I am one of the 2K Next makers who occasionally gets an opportunity to show some really cool exclusive stuff, as we did here on YouTube. They finally pay out for their win. They got the table. They're happy. I got my win. Let's see how the winner pack looks to end the video. I got a Shawn Michaels, which I think is a Silver Star Pro. Other stuff doesn't matter. Got a top tier card or near top tier card. We're all good. 9881 on the catalog stars. We got plenty of videos to go. I've got another video lined up for TLC in the future. If you watch this in the future, that video would have been like a long time ago. But anyways, if you have enjoyed it, subscribe, drop a like on the video, follow the socials, all linked down in the description for more content. SuperCard, wrestling, Fortnite, horror related, everything basically. Variety content at the end of the day, but a hard emphasis on Fortnite and SuperCard. They're the main two. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this one. I hope this strat works for you. Again, let me know with a comment down below if it works for you, and if you have any tips, let us know some of yours as well. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'll reply to them all. And again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.